It's Northeastern footy time. It's grand final time, and Peter Meyer has been good enough to join us through the year, and he's with us now. Peter, exciting times in Northeastern footy.
Yes, it's the grand final weekend, and after a male medal count on Monday night, last Monday, we're into the big match at Eudunda tomorrow. So it will be an exciting time, and in Eudunda, we'll be able to show off their new premises they've got, new building, and that'll be exciting for them too.
Yeah, very much so. I want to have a look at the medal. It was a terrific night. Just go through us winners and runners-up in the senior grade.
In the senior grade, Matthew Longbottom from BSR was successful, won by 13 votes, had a very consistent season, certainly caught the eye of the umpires out on the ground and does a lot of hard work around packs and so forth, so he's a worthy winner. Beating a tied second place in Charlie Riggs from Minman and Levi Krause from RSMU. So they both polled well too, and both very good footballers. So Matthew was the winner there. And in the B grade, I just forget his first name, but young Jenna from Minman, Blue Jenna's son, was successful. And I'd been watching him over the last few weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks, in the finals for Minman. He's certainly a strong young footballer in the B grade, and probably if he gets himself really quite fit, he could play certainly A grade football, I think. Mm. And he was the winner from Max Paddock from Eudunda Robertstown in the B grade.
Yeah, Maxie Baddock played a bit of football out at Blanchetown Swan Reach over the years, I reckon, if I remember, and good to see him back in the Southern Saints colours. Of course, Smitty, the coach, won the Coach of the Year, and it was terrific to see a number of very good players, including Hardy, up forward, centre-half forward, being picked up in the Team of the Year. Want to move to finals footy, though, because we want to spend some time just looking at how unlucky Eudunda Robertstown, going out in straight sets. Their loss last week was, for them, just a big disappointment. It was a close one. RSMU 11-7-73 to Southern Saints 9-9-63. You have to go back to 2015-16 when the Saints lost to RSMU. It was unbelievable to see the RSMU, their nemesis side from the old Brossa Light days, beat them again.
Yes, it was. And, it was pretty hard to predict, as far as the preliminary final was concerned, because there wasn't much in the second semi-final between Southern Saints and BSR. And on the Sunday, of course, RSMU played Minman, and there was only a point in that. So to come to the preliminary final to be played and at Manura, it was an interesting game. And RSMU certainly started very well. They were away out of the blocks, kicked 6-goal-1 in the first quarter. Samuel Milne with a live wire across the half-forward line. Michael Lenny back again, gave them something to kick to. And in the early stages of that first quarter, Levi Krause was in everything. And they got away from the Southern Saints. And they, at the start of the second quarter, they kicked another goal, and they were 7-1 to 2-goal-1. And at the start of the last quarter, out came Eudunda Robertstown, Southern Saints, and they really had a crack and got back to within only a few points in it. And then RSMU were able to score a goal in the latter stage of the last quarter, and time ran out. Interesting situation. RSMU through the grand final. Unfortunately, Southern Saints dipped out in two of the finals.
Yeah, for them, Hardy 3 and lots, Cotswood 2, Engel with a couple, and Smith-B Lorna, who's had a great season and one of the leading players in that Team of the Year. Mosi, another one, and Fitzner also amongst it. Pryor also named. Connell, very good all year. Jordan and Big Shahinga was good. Slee, he was one of the leading players through the season too. Rhodey, another one that fronted up finals time, who's had a great year. Having a look then at what this means and putting it in its perspective, it's a very big grand final. BSR get to take on RSMU. I'm going to take you back to 2017, Peter Meyer, because on that occasion, it was a 1-point victory to BSR from a fast-finishing RSMU who come home with a wet sail looking for 3 in a row at the time after actually beating Eudunda Robertstown in 2 of those. What a game of football it was in 2017, and what a game of football we've got at the big weekend.
We have got a good game of football this weekend. And just going back to that situation in 2017. RSMU on the lookout for, I think it was their fourth premiership in a row. I think under Zach High they'd already had three, but anyhow, doesn't matter. At the Ribbon and Oval that day, it was a climax, I can tell you, because as RSMU were the red hot favourites, and BSR under the new coaching of what was his name? I'm just trying to think of it. Came from Malala, but anyhow, he had them up and going, and they persevered all day. In the last quarter, RSMU came home with sail and had that many shots. Everybody was holding their breath. In the final siren, there was 1 point in it. And now they're meeting again tomorrow.
I'll tell you what, they're meeting again, and it's going to be a massive day of football when they do. But starting the day in the morning in the 14-year-olds, working their way into a grand final here, it's been a great achievement by the lads from Minman. They come up against South Clare. Should be a really interesting start at 9 o'clock.
Yes, it should be an interesting start. I've watched the progress of the Minman boys. They've got two very good under-14s and under-17s, and they play a very good team game in both grades, and they've got two or three excellent footballers there that lead the way, and it should be a good contest at 9 o'clock on the under-14s. I do favour Minman. They've probably got a little bit more depth than what probably South have, but South also play a good team game, well coached by their coach, Jason Lehman, and it'll be a good contest. There won't be much in it in the end, I don't think.
No, there won't be. The 17s, you mentioned the Minman Juniors are really good across the board. They take on North Clare. I reckon these boys from the Eagles have just been looking at it, I think last year in the abridged season, and I reckon the year prior before COVID, I reckon they really were starting to get something happening in their under-14s back then. So this is a chance for their 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds to really front up and win the premiership.
Yes, and they've got a very good chance too. They were strong and good and played a good team game in the second semi, probably a little bit better than what North did. North got some good players, but they're college boys at home. I did notice last night that they did train together, so hopefully that just blends them a little bit more, because being away all the time doesn't help you as far as the team type thing is concerned. But it'll be a good game in the under-17s. There wasn't much in it in the second semi for three-quarters of the game, and then Minman got away, so it will be an interesting game tomorrow. But probably Minman overall might just get up in the last quarter.
Oh, yes, it's going to be a beauty. The Southern Saints in the twos take on the BB8 Rams. The Rams have fought their way into it. And the battle of the Goyder Council region. Who's going to get home here?
Well, that'll be an interesting game too, because Eudunda Robertstown, Southern Saints weren't all that impressive against Minman, and they weren't all that impressive, and I thought they were a bit slow starting. They wouldn't want to be slow tomorrow, because BBH boys are on their toes and ready to have a real crack, because they've got a few ex-A graders in that side, Casey Cooper, Stephen Toll, Hawley, and a few of them, so they'll be up and about, and they've experienced it a bit before, those boys, so they know what to play in a grand final is all about. But, of course, I seen talking to Max Baddock, I said to him on Monday night, didn't have much to say. He says, no, I want to speak on Saturday. So obviously they've been thinking about it too. So it'll be a great game, that'd be a great game.
Oh, it will be. Right down to the wire, I'm going to go with the Saints to get home over the Rams in a very big cliffhanger. And what about this one, though, the big one? RSMU come out to play. They take on the very powerful BSR. BSR have won 3 of the last 4. Can they make it to 4 of 5?
Yes, well, it'll be. That's the perplexing question. They've been good all year. They've been up and down a little bit throughout the year. Injuries have played a part in that, and RSMU have been a bit the same, because they've had injuries throughout the year that have occasionally affected their play. But RSMU have been strong in the finals and won through after the first semi-final, the playoff and the preliminary, and were very good last week when they played off in that. So BSR have had the week off. Were able to watch last week, so they want to be on their best behaviour and best performance tomorrow to get over the line. With Michael Lenny back, it gave them something up forward to kick to, and they've got a few live wire players and good players in their side Michael Van Loon and Harrison Slee and young Milne and all those young fellas. They're well led by young Rhodey, so it'll be a good game. But I do favour probably BSR in the end, in the last quarter, getting over the top of them with the experience of the Hayes boys and Joey Hindus and the Cousins and that are in there. Of course, Matthew Longbottom, the male medal winner, will probably have a bit of a say as the day goes on.
Oh, I say he will. I'm going to tip a little upset. Got a feeling RSMU have done the job both weeks, coming from the first semi-final knockout, and stranger things have happened this year in your grade of football in Northeastern. We haven't been really able to the final round to get the Eudunda Robertstown at the top of the table, and any one of the top four I thought could have won the flag. So I reckon I'm going to go with a little roughy here in an upset for the RSMU boys to get home in what will be a sensational day up at Eudunda. The new silos are painted. They're going to paint the town out there with football too, with the new opening in club rooms. It will be a massive occasion for the clubs as they come out to Eudunda. We're looking forward to the results coming through in Northeastern, and the grand final's been decided. And Peter Meyer, we've enjoyed your commentary on it this year for the Northeastern Football League, and we do thank you for joining us this year.
No worries, Wayne. It's a pleasure, and it's nice to be able to promote football and talk to you people, and look forward to perhaps doing it again next year if that's the case.